Thank you so much, Sway. A2IM artist. A2IM has been around for 15 years, but our A2IM artist program is brand new. We just started in February. And we're just delighted to let you know that it's free, and we encourage everybody to join. I'll put the link in the chat in a moment, and please sign up. Thanks. Thanks for being here today.
Awesome. So we're going to move right into our next. We're just a few minutes behind, but we'll make up for it. I'm going to have my panelists say just a second. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. We have 3 artists who we are reviewing today. Mira, I'm actually going to ask you to share your screen if you're there and you can hear, because my internet is not cooperating today. So I do want to go ahead. We're going to play like one song, and then we're going to get our panelists ready, and we're going to get our artists who are going to be reviewed. You don't know who you are yet, so your phone should be nearby so that you can get. We are going to bring you on camera, so make sure you're presentable and your background is clear and all of that. And give us about 2 minutes, and we'll get going on the review. So I sent out the invitation. In that invitation was a little button that said submit a chance to have your socials reviewed. So you were asked to submit the links to your Instagram, your Facebook artist page, all that stuff. Through that as quickly as we can. We've chosen at random 3 artists. If we move ahead of time, we'll move on to more. But this is really an opportunity to see what people are doing on their socials with a marketing panel, to see if they are doing things that are drawing people in or pushing, basically. We also have just confirmed Jimmy, who's here from Twitch, who can speak to how to monetize what you're doing on his platform. So I think almost all set. We're going to go ahead first and have Marni come on camera. And if you guys could give like a 1-minute introduction of yourselves and what you do for artists, it would be great.
Hey. Hi, Soy. Thank you so much. That last panel was amazing. So yeah, thank you so much for having me here, you guys. I'm the VP of Marketing and Business Development at the Syndicate. The Syndicate is an entertainment marketing agency here in the New York area. It's actually in New Jersey. Yeah, we do everything from PR to radio to marketing and digital marketing. We do grassroots campaigns and also digital. So we call it digital and IRL marketing. My focus is mainly the digital side of things, and my department runs campaigns in the realm of social media, influencer campaigns, digital platform campaigns. So we do work with Twitch quite a bit, and then we also do we have a digital street team that we work quite frequently with. That's part of our company, and then we also do brand partnerships and things like that. So yeah, all the digital stuff all the time.
Everybody, my name is Marcus Hollinger. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Atlanta-based indie Reach Records. My function and the way that I serve artists is at our label. I oversee our marketing and creative teams. So that's informing and crafting rollout strategies for our artists when it comes time to put the music out. Overseeing the social media teams, how we do social marketing, overseeing the creative team, so informing branding and making sure that we are giving the best visual presentation, as well as our video team. So pretty much the creative and content aspects of what we do. I also oversee our merchandise operation. We have a lifestyle brand that runs alongside the label and the artist. Oversee that process as well. So very glad to be here, new to the A2IM ecosystem, and I'm here to learn just like many of the guests.
Are you guys able to hear
me?
me?
There you are.
There we go. Cool. Sorry, I was trying to be fancy. I've got a 2-year-old screaming in the background, so I was trying to filter it, but clearly that didn't work. Hey guys, I'm Jimmy Whisenhunt. I work over at Twitch. I'm the senior manager for music partnerships. I've been around Twitch for about the past 10 years, and working there for the past 5. Started as a content creator, and now I help artists day to day understand how to utilize Twitch as a place to monetize your presence beyond just music and also market that music. We work directly with labels, artist management. We wear a lot of hats. We're a newer team at Twitch, but have been working towards having a dedicated focus in music in that area for about the past couple of years.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining. I'm sure our artists are eager to hear from you. Brian or Mira, can you go ahead and find our first artist who we're going to be reviewing in the attendee list? That is, let me see if I see her name. There she is, Lolly Mariah. Lolly submitted her presence portfolio, and we're going to go ahead and pull up her information. And again, this is an opportunity for our panelists to just dig in and, you know, give some feedback. Yes, I love that you all are excited for her. Somebody's in the chat like, yes. Okay, cool. And then let's go ahead and try and make her a host too, so she can interact with the panelists, if that's an option. I think it is, but definitely give some feedback. Okay, let's see. Let me see everybody. Awesome. All right, so Marni and Jimmy, right now we're looking at Instagram. Go ahead and give us your feedback on what you're seeing in terms of tone, amount of posts, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I really love, Lolly, that you have, hi. I really love that you have a really simple bio, but that it gives me a lot of information. I think a lot of people don't take advantage of that area, even though there's not a lot of characters to play with, as we all know. But you've made it super clear what you do. You've made it where you are. I love that you have the hashtag in there for extra discoverability and some emojis that kind of just draw your eye up there. So that is really great. And I do love that you added a fan link. Did you, I think when I looked this morning, did you have your website and did you switch it to your fan link?
Yeah, I reset it to my fan link. Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. Cause I was like, oh, she should have a fan link. And then I like literally went back to look at it and I was like, that was weird. But yeah, it looks great. And I love your use of highlights.
Hey Lolly, how you doing? Marcus. I really I think just looking at your Instagram for the most part, what really came through for me was how organic and true to yourself you are. I thought that was really good. It doesn't really seem like you're trying to be anything that you're not. And I really appreciate that. And by the way, I really like your music too. Your music's dope. I wanted to leave with that. So I think you're doing a lot of things well. And I think the fact that you're so authentic based on the vibe that I get from your music, I would imagine that that's really important to the people that who would see themselves in you. You seem very pro-Black, very pro-natural. So it's good that you're highlighting those things. I think a little bit of constructive feedback for you. Overall, I would say you could probably amplify if you simplified a little bit. So obviously purple, I saw purple all the way throughout your brand, and that really sends a specific message. So I think you could probably be a little more intentional with how you use that. I love that the video countdown assets that you did to promote your video. I think that that's very practical. It did seem a little bit busy though. While I do get a sense of your vibe, it's very and it's very organic, but I think you could probably counterbalance some of the organic just with intentionality. So for instance, on your countdown video things, if I could actually see more of the video and actually see more of that actual content versus like the number and the text and all that type of stuff, it would help me engage the content a little bit better. I think on some of the things that you post to, it's very info heavy. It's like these things here, whoever's scrolling, those two middle, there's just a lot of text, a lot of things that kind of screen information, but if I could experience the content, experience you a little bit more, just through simplification, I feel like it would really, you know, I'd buy in even more.
Gotcha. Thank you.
One thing I thought too that would have been good, listening to your music. I think your message is very strong. If you maybe did some content to do simple highlights of your lyrics, I felt like that could be really impactful. I feel like people would really register with what you say. And so in an era where people want to hit the arrow and share to their stories, I felt like that would be a cool thing for you to do. You have influencer potential. I think you could play to that some more on your Instagram.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That's really amazing feedback. Wow. I love it. Jimmy, I know this is Instagram, but is there anything that you can see that Lolly's doing that she, like, how can she monetize this on platform? Any pointer?
Sure. Yeah, you guys able to hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Just want to make sure after last time. The big thing is looking across social media, where other than fan links are really solid, but like where specifically are you driving people? Like when your community comes together to enjoy or be with each other, your followers, what are those calls to action across your bios? I love that everything's super, super simple. But with a platform like Twitch or specifically YouTube where you upload longer form content, where can they find more of specifically you? Man, there's a lot of sound happening in the background. Hopefully you guys can't hear all that. And with Twitch or YouTube, Discord, those kind of places to give people places to come together outside of the short form, like Instagram is usually really, really solid. But I love the consistency, and I really, really like how easy it is to learn as much about you as possible through your Instagram. So this is solid.
If I can just pop in with one more thing, I'm sure we're going to go to other platforms too, but just to piggyback off of what Marcus said a little bit, kind of simplifying the text, just something to keep in mind that I'm sure that you're aware of, but when you boost posts, the post that's boosted needs to have less than 20% text or it won't be able to be boosted. So definitely something to keep in mind, even when you're choosing the thumbnail of the video that you're landing on. And then I think that'll also, you know, just kind of give a cleaner, more purposeful kind of look to the page. But I definitely love like that, at least at the top, all of the countdown videos, you know, everything had that really bold font. And I could see kind of like what Marcus was alluding to with like maybe lyric cards, if they were kind of in that consistent font, they kind of scattered throughout. So maybe it was, you know, looks random, but there's a plan for like how often they show up. And then to do the same thing with the kind of more casual, candid photos of you, because those do really, really well. All of the photos where you're sort of like hanging out and, you know, just a very chill caption, like you, those do really well. And I think more of that would be great. And even like using those photos to promote stuff could be good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, one last thing, because Instagram is probably where I spend most of my time. I think to what Marni is saying, I know that as an independent artist, it's hard to get content because you feel like you might need designers and stuff. One practical thing you can do, get you a disposable camera and just take pictures of your vibe, take pictures of your lifestyle, things like that. And once you get those scans, literally to what she said, you could use that to promote different things, and it'll give you a clean aesthetic. That type of content is really what's hitting right now. A lot of new music fans, they want that organic connection, and I feel like you could bring those two things together with something like that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That's amazing feedback. I do want to keep us to time, you guys. So let's move on to Lolly's recent album cover artwork. What thoughts do we have about execution? Does it match with the music?
Yeah, I liked I liked it. Again, this whole EP I thought was dope. I really rocked with the vibe, and I feel like the artwork reinforced it. I'm just curious, are you an artist? Did you paint this? It had like a very personal touch, like a very organic, down to earth vibe to it. So I'm just curious, did you do this or?
No, I had help in the editing process, but I did not actually draw it. But I did have an artist draw it. Yeah.
Okay, I liked it. I felt like it was consistent. Your color palette, all that. I felt like it was consistent. I liked it.
Yeah, same here. And I love that you tied in the mermaid theme throughout, you know, not only with the colors, but also like your emojis, and just you see those colors kind of pop up throughout all of your content. So yeah, I think because they're all different colors, I think they kind of work together because they're all the same kind of area of the spectrum. And I think that can work really well with you as you kind of, you can even do, you know, like color blocks on your Instagram to kind of go with these colors of the album art, and then also kind of that pop of green with the tail. I think you can kind of use that as an accent color, and that might just bring a little like, oh, what's that? You know, when you're looking at your feed.
Gotcha. Cool.
Awesome. Quick question for Jimmy. With this EP or I'm sorry, album that she released, like what's a quick way to translate that over to Twitch? What could be something that you maybe could experiment with this weekend?
Sure. Yeah, I think one kind of to what I was saying earlier, giving people who enjoy the music a place to be together to celebrate and to experience some of that with you. We've seen some pretty solid success with large, very, very solidified and developing and like large indie. You've seen all over the spectrum. When people come together over new music, it is a really powerful thing. And in a time when we're all stuck inside, we don't get the benefit of having the quote unquote like physical street teams, but digitally it's just as important. So keeping people excited, it's almost kind of like politics. It's almost like having rallies, like reminding people that they love your music, letting them talk to each other about it, and having them have a motivation to go out and share that, and kind of rallying around a specific stream. Live is really good with that, good for that, even if not on a consistent basis, just on releases.
Awesome. All right. This is great advice for Lally, and I hope everybody else is getting something from it too. Let's take a quick look at her press photo. Now, if we're sending this out with a press release, getting people, you know, drawn into who she is as an artist who don't know her, Marni is, you know, if she were your client, would you say, yes, go with this photo, or let's choose another? Marcus, same question for you.
I really love the energy of this photo, and I love that the colors again tie into the album art and all the other things. I think that's always a really difficult thing to do. You really have to commit to a color palette in order to have all those pieces work together. I think it's a little bit dark in the background, so I wonder if there's a way to just like pull up the exposure a little bit just so you can like see the whole thing. But I do like the moodiness of it. So I do like that you get like, it's on stage. I get like a very like star quality, you know, vibe from it already. So if I saw that photo without having heard your music and without visiting your socials, I'd be like, I want to check her out. There's something going on there. So I think overall, yes, this is a really good like first look at who you are.
Yeah, same thing. I would echo that. I think any feedback on this photo is just going to be how to go from good to great. And you know, I think your star quality comes through. The only thing I would say is, as a developing artist, you want to try to show your face as much as possible, because that's actually your brand. Like when I can look and see how much of myself or how much of somebody I know in an artist, especially at those early stages, that's going to be really important. I'll look across your profiles. You have great photos that show your face. So yeah, if you wanted to do best or better, I would just go with something that's showing your face a little more.
Cool.
This is a great photo though.
Thank you.
Yeah, it makes me really miss going to concerts, man. All right, and lastly, let's take a look at Lally's Spotify.
I think on your Spotify account, again, the music is great. So when I pull up and press play, I'm already in. These things are really about enhancing the experience. The first thing I wanted to know is your story. So I would definitely say make a priority to fill out your about section, because the photo makes me curious. It really you know, tells me what's on the menu as far as your music, but it just be nice to be able to flow with that. I would say on your Twitter and your Apple Music, you had photos that showed your face a little bit better. So you're looking away from the camera here. Again, this is a great branding opportunity for you. I would probably show your face a little bit more. And maybe Marni or somebody could speak to this, but if I could have found more related artists, psychologically, for some reason, that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to put you in context. So if there's some back end things that could be done to populate that section for you, I think that helped too.
Yeah, I think something you could do there, and obviously that's the Spotify thing, that's something that happens over time. But I do think that you could make some playlists on your own page, and put your music on as well. Like I'd obviously start it out with your single and then pepper some other of your songs throughout it, but definitely fill up the playlist with artists that are, you know, artists that you love and songs that you love, but that you also kind of think have a crossover audience with you. Because that will help a little bit, just kind of associate you with those artists in the algorithm over time. And then you can use that link where you can promote that on Facebook, on Twitter. You could put the link in your link in bio or your link fire, and promote it on Instagram, just so that you're kind of always sending people over to your Spotify anyway, which is what we want. So as you build fans on your socials, then you're sending them to your Spotify to not only get your music, but also like the whole vibe of who Lolly is, and, you know, the world that you're in when you listen to her music.
I want to make sure everybody caught that who's watching, because we only have time to get through a few artists today. But Marni, what you're saying is for everyone. Keep them in your loop. You know, once they get on your page, they should stay for like a good hour, you know, just checking out your other things. So links to everything on everything.
Yeah.
Segueing really quickly to the credits sections of the singles. We want to make sure that our artists who come through the program and every other artist we meet with, that they're filling this area out, making sure that they have producer credits and also lyrics where available to be added to the songs. All right. Any final feedback for Lolly? My program manager is letting me know we're over time, so we're going to move on to our next artist. But any final words for her?
I have one tiny other little thing, just to add your social accounts to your Spotify about page. And then also just something that I noticed on your Facebook is not to link your Instagram to your Facebook, to post those separately so that the tags come through.
Got it.
Yeah. Just keep going, Lolly. I think you've got a great sound. You sound very mature in your musical presentation. Please just keep going.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you all. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Bye, Lolly. We'll talk soon. That was really cool. Thank you so much. I had this wild idea to have the artist come on camera and get their stuff reviewed, and it's actually working out. I'm so glad. And I need to whisper this. My internet is cooperating. Okay, so yes. All right. Our intern Mariah is pulling up next artist links. I'm going to just make sure that he's in here. I see him there. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, overall thoughts that you guys want to share with who's here that may not be reviewed today from what we saw out of Lolly.
I think just that consistency in your branding is so important to start, you know, whenever you can. I think a lot of artists kind of get nervous to go in a specific direction because they think they can never change it, and, you know, they'll end up not doing anything or do like all the colors or whatever colors or any look. And I like that she's already kind of developing a very clear look of that. And I think what Marcus is saying, just to kind of clean that and center it and focus it a little bit more, will be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Our next artist who we're going to be checking out is Illy Maine. Illy Maine, are you here? We're going to go ahead and bring up his links and make him a host so he can join us. This is really amazing. Thank you guys for doing this. We have a question. We have a question actually while we're getting situated. We're gonna make sure that he's here. Would any of the panelists offer consulting, not free, something similar to what they just did for that artist? Marcus or Marni, you might have some clients looking to work.
Yeah, I'll drop my email in. That's what we do. We do this audit. We do it for every social media campaign we run, not in person. That would take forever. It's like a big old document that we give you at the beginning. But yeah, I'm sure Marcus also does that.
Yeah, just I think the best way to get in contact with me for that right now, just shoot me a message on IG. I'm at Marcus Hollinger. It's my name. I'm gonna be emailing Marni though, so y'all might wanna see what I'm doing.
All right. Mira, did we make Illy a host? He says he's ready. I just texted him. Let's see. There he is.
Everybody,
Hi, Illy. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
yes, Illy Maine.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for submitting to Step Review. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Appreciate it. I'm learning a lot.
All right, so same thing for him, y'all. At tone overall. Oh, and one question my program manager told me to ask: what are your thoughts on Instagram post totals? I try to keep it to 60 and under. Your thoughts on that?
Post totals like in your feed?
Yes.
I mean, I think that if there's, I don't look at the totals, but if there's stuff that you feel like it doesn't suit you anymore, you can go ahead and archive it. But if I'm like seeing more than 60 posts in a feed, I'm not going to be like, oh.
Right. I like the psychology behind 60 or less, because it forces you to be very selective, very intentional. And when you start being intentional with your content, a world of good decisions open up. So while I like the thought behind that.
All right, so we are scrolling here through Illy's photos and posts. Marcus, Jimmy, Marni, what are your thoughts?
So Illy, I like your music. The song about your mom was really good. And when I was looking at your profiles, I felt like there was a missed opportunity to do some storytelling. So I would just love to see what you do in your music flesh out on your socials. That I know that song is a little old, but for somebody with you being a newer artist or yet to be discovered artist, I feel like you could kind of, I would have liked to have seen that. I would have liked to have get some emotional buy-in when I show up to your page. So some of the advice that has been given previously is, what's your vibe? Like, what's your day to day, and how are you elevating that? And then you got bars, and bars are very, it's tough sometimes to grasp them. So can you show some of your lyrics? Who is this guy? Like, what compelled you to write that song about your mom? I just feel like I saw one picture on your page with her, but like that struck me as a source of inspiration. So I think just seeing that play out on your page will really serve you well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things, and similar to what Marcus was saying, is getting an idea of what makes you who you are as well. Like, obviously talking about, your mom, family, that sort of thing. We've seen this work really well in live, and I imagine this carries over to your general social media as well, is as people get to know you through your music, like reinforcing that with the like real life references and letting them in. Just one artist we happen to work with was, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. that takes a lot of years, a lot of years. A lot of people didn't know that. But as he started showing those things on stream, talking about social media, not only did he start getting the attention of people who were also a fan of that, he was letting people in on part of what makes him who he is and why he is the way he is. And it's just one little piece, but I think that's always super important.
So Jimmy, I mean, we think Twitch is the next big thing, you know? This is a way for artists to make money right here in their houses, in their apartments. If somebody who has bars, you know, what can he do on Twitch?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we've had a lot, like the beauty of live is it really needs to be what you want to make it. Like it's really hard with short form content. You can put it out there and you can highly edit it and you can curate it really well. With live, it's all about authenticity. And I know that's a really annoying buzzword we hear about everything, but it's important that you are going long form and sitting down and talking and not getting yourself stuck in like a show mentality. I think someone who does this really well is one of my favorite artists over the years is Murs. He's now a close friend of the company and he's been on Twitch for the past 4 years. Some days he'll go live and he'll freestyle. Some days he'll have some writtens that he'll get critiques from chat. Other days he's like, link me your favorite video in the past year. Like just really diving in and engaging and interacting directly solidifies himself even more with a 20-year fan base, but also interest a lot of new people that are coming in because it's compelling content.
That's really awesome. So maybe Illy Long that was mentioning about your mother, maybe you break in a long format where you talk to people about, you know, what was going through your head when you, what it was like recording it, the experience of that, put there. Just ideas for you and for anybody else that's listening. We definitely want what active, and one way to do that, what it's saying, is just to get on there and be sound like.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I would love to see like maybe an Instagram, an IGTV, you know, series of like you talking about like the behind the music, you know, and talking about your music and maybe having guests on, you know, and talking about it and bringing on things that kind of inspired you. And obviously like sharing those you could even do it live, save it to IGTV and then share it on share a preview to your feed, you know. And then just have like maybe do that every so often so it's kind of peppered throughout. But yeah, I definitely feel like I looked at your Instagram and I was like, I want to know more. I want to know your story. And I went to the Bandcamp and I didn't get too much more. I wanted your lyrics there even for the songs that you had up there. I wanted your socials on the Bandcamp as well, because if that's the main link that you're sending to people, like you just want to keep that circle. You just want to keep people like continuously, like either loop them all straight back around or just keep them going. So it's like they're constantly digging and they're spending the whole day with you, you know?
I
I
appreciate
agree totally with Marcus about, you know, wanting to know the storyline. I think Illy, you've done a really good job of like showing your face, your brand, and photos, things like that, but be a storyline. And that could just be that could be fixed with just doing some trimming, you know, getting rid of those things like Marni said that no longer and that also could be moving forward, making sure that you're telling a story visually. Let's move on to let's see, recent artwork or photo. I'm not, those tabs are up there. All right, this is your latest single. What's this? Oh, this is your press photo. All right, cool.
Yeah. Look, you got me sweating looking at my own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good image. I really feel like I get a sense of what you do and how you know, it sets the scene. I feel like I can enter the scene. The only thing is I just wish you were looking at the camera again, like that buy-in, like if I could look you in your eyes through this photo and kind of see. I would say, man, you seem like a really thoughtful dude and you seem like just a guy who, you know, is thoughtful. So maybe you can incorporate that into your photos. Like I'm looking for a shirt maybe that has a message, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for just something that communicate, because you're a bars type of rapper, you have like a conscious type of personality. I feel like what would serve you well is if you took opportunities to be provocative, or like even push your a message that people can grasp, like out to the front. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you looking at the camera. Like the first picture that you have on your Insta, where you're kind of leaning against the wall and looking straight ahead, that's just like super captivating. And it's like, I want to know your story. I want to know more. And I think if it were, you could still have a picture of you on stage, because I think that really gives good context to what you're doing. I would maybe try not to have people in the background, just so the sole focus is on you. But definitely looking into the camera so that you feel that connection, and that it just kind of, if that's the first time anyone's ever seeing you from like a press story or on your socials, that people are like, oh, I want to connect here.
All right, let's move on to his recent artwork. Now, going back to Lolly's, there was something that I saw that you guys didn't mention. For me, the photo that she had of the mermaid was a different resolution and than the font, and that was a disc. So I would say, add that same filter that's on the photo font as well, so that it doesn't seem like it's sitting on top of the image. And that's a small fix. Same thing here with this one. I feel like the resolution could be a little bit higher, but you guys are the experts.
yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think it it really kind of gave me a sense of like, oh, this dude is rapping. Like I'm getting anime vibes. I'm getting like natural, like, you know what I'm saying, like trying to be myself type vibes. So I think that's cool. It kind of like, it is what it is with this artwork. My only thing is, there was a disconnect for me because this kid has a fro and you got these really long dreads.
Yeah.
So I feel like there was when I was scrolling through, I was almost like, wait, am I on the right page? Because I'm not seeing a fro, and these dreads seem to be everywhere. So
I used to have a fro when I made the cover art. Then I
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I almost feel like this guy, I want him to be like a character in your socials. Like I want him to like show up more and be a guy that I can get to know. Like if it's you in the past, or if it's like a part of you, or like, especially with the title, I just feel like there's, yeah.
So carrying the artwork through to the Instagram, to everywhere else, so that we don't just see this one time, but maybe it's a thread, and then we're getting into narrative and storyline, something we talked about in the last panel. So that lines up with what we've been talking about today.
Yeah, totally.
Jimmy, question for you. I mean, does the content on Twitch, is it only successful when it's that conversational way? Is there a space for, just showing images or showing photos, or getting feedback from people on photos, like maybe having people vote on potential covers or anything like that?
Yeah, no, that's definitely, I think that's where we do best. That was actually one thing that I think is solid advice for anyone who's growing their personal brand across socials, is use each platform for what they're best at, and don't share, like, don't just, not that you're doing this, but broadly, don't just broadly post your things on every place. Like an example, earlier we brought up streaming on IG Live. IG is really, really, really solid, especially for the short form stream engagement. And like, hey, check out this quick album art, like for like 5-10 minutes at a time. Somewhere like Twitch, because it's all live, no one's opening it to check a few posts real quick. That's a place where you can take that for an hour or two. Like on average, people are watching a very long time. So Twitch is a place where you can bring people in even earlier in the process, and like even make the album art on stream, or bring them 10 options. But we had this Mike Shinoda, he's doing an independent release of instrumentals, which he's never really done before. He made the entire album and album art live on stream over a period of weeks. So really buying in and making people a part of that creative process all but guarantees that they're going to at least check that thing out when it drops, because they got to see a little piece of it.
And then Jimmy, I don't think we've explicitly mentioned this, but Twitch is the platform to monetize this type of thing. So quickly, how does that work? Let's say I do create my cover work on Twitch or a whole, beat pack or instrumental EP. How do I make money from that?
Sure. So the cool thing about the complete accident we stumbled into here, so we built this platform as a way for people to make a living playing video games originally. So it's got some things that people can pay for, and that is all related to your content. Where you sell your merch is irrelevant to Twitch and so on. You can link out to all of those places. Twitch can serve as a home where you link to your IG, your merch store, your official website, your Spotify, iTunes, everything is very customizable. But while you're on Twitch, people have the option to pay a monthly fee to subscribe, similar to a Patreon. And they get special access to your own emotes, your own brand. Like effectively, you get to make your own emojis and just represent yourself that people can get. They also watch ads similar to YouTube, and they can donate directly to you. So that's why I say that authenticity and that back and forth conversation, you're forming real relationships with often who become or already are your super fans. So it just kind of snowballs as you grow your Twitch channel as a home base for people to get to know you. You can monetize pretty well there.
That's awesome. I've heard great things. People are like really making a lot of money over there with what they're sharing.
That's our goal. We want to help.
Awesome. All right. So we're moving on quickly to Illy's Spotify. Right up top. No image up there.
I'm revamping immediately after all of this.
Marcus, Marni, quick thoughts on this page?
When I went to your about section, I just wish that maybe you told a little more of a universal story. It's very localized the way you describe yourself, but make a connection for me. I don't live in Detroit. I don't know some of the things that you're referencing. So it just would have helped to see what you're interested in reflected there.
Yeah, I think just fleshing that out and new photos too, because I think like Marcus was saying, like those are, you can see now like that those are photos of you and in the past, I don't know how long, but like photos of you that match the photos that are on your socials, so that like I know I'm in the right place. Okay. And just like I think you can see you, but just kind of give people like a snapshot. Like if the people hadn't seen the artwork, they don't know much about you. People have the shortest attention spans. They're just like in and out, so it's just kind of like consistent photos. I feel like that's kind of the key sometimes, is having that same avatar photo or having that same header photo, the horizontal photo. So like from Facebook to Twitter to Spotify, taking that opportunity where like your header photo is the same, just kind of gives people like yep, I'm on the same link. Right. And then just fleshing out the socials, because only your Instagram is there.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, any final thoughts for Illy before we let him go?
I have one super fast one. Yeah. Don't take Twitter for granted. Dive back on there. Obviously don't make it a job. The nice thing about Twitter is it's less curated, it's more spontaneous, but it is a really solid place to have that back and forth interaction. And don't give up on it. It's a great place. I'm a Twitter head. I know a lot of people find great success when they need fast conversion, more so on Twitter than they do on Instagram. So for a live stream or something that like you're throwing out fast for a pop-up, that sort of thing, having it active is really, really solid. So try to stay across it.
That's good advice. I forget about Twitter a lot.
I get made fun of by artists all the time because I'm rarely on Instagram. I'm more on Twitter, but yeah, I get it.
All right, well,
most of our artists like hate Twitter and they're like all about Instagram. So.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for your feedback on Illy's pages. Illy, thanks for joining us. I hope you got some great tips from that. Everybody else that's watching, if you're doing some of the similar things on your pages, all of what the panelists have said basically applies to everyone. So thanks, Illy. We'll be in touch. Feel free to reach out if you need some more tips.
Yes, next time you see me, my page gonna look like a superstar.
Hey,
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hey,
here.
hey, Illy, I just wanted to say, man, just commit, bro. Commit to the art. I think it seems like you've got some stuff you want to say and some things you want to get out. It might take a minute. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But I think if you commit, you'd see some real cool stuff happen, bro.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. I will. Appreciate y'all. Yo.
All right, thanks for joining us. Okay, Mira,
Wait.
let's up our third and final artist. Did someone call my name? Yes.
Yes, I did. I'm so sorry, but I actually have to jet. I needed a clean hour
Okay, gotcha.
for this one. So maybe I could hang around for maybe I go now or just hang around for a little bit for this one, but I do have a hard stop at 1.
Gotcha. We're going on to our next artist right now. I think he has his links pulled up. This last artist, his name is Entity Gaskin. Yeah, we're looking at his Instagram. Actually, Marcus, I'll just let you go.
Okay, thanks so much.
Oh, I didn't mean let him go.
Oh, I thought you meant go like
Marni, we're on the same page. He was like, okay, bye.
I'm like waiting for him to go.
That's not what we meant. All right. But we're still well covered here with Marni and Jimmy. All right. But we do appreciate Marcus. And I think you guys have his Instagram is at Reach Records. And I think Marcus Hollinger is also his Instagram handle. So definitely follow him and DM him if you like some feedback. But Marni and Jimmy, let's get into Entity's page. Hey there, nice to see you.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us. All right, what are we seeing here?
Yeah, I think the first thing that first of all, shout out to Waffle House. I was just really happy to see that on your page. Maybe happy. But the first thing I was trying to scroll up in the chat. That was not, I don't know what I was trying to work your screen. The bio, I know you have a video that you posted in your bio. I think it's totally cool to have the video in the linked spot. Obviously, Instagram only lets us have one link. But I would use that other area to describe what the video is, that it's out now. And maybe even, have that up there for a little bit and then swap it to your website where you put the video on the website so you could kind of get people over to your hub. But I definitely, you definitely need to just it's hard because there's not that many characters in there and you kind of have to finagle it in there. But yeah, that's my first note.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I was just going to agree. Yeah, I mean that on any of these pages, we've talked a lot about the Spotify about, and then also the bio here. Same with Twitter. They're going to go through your post and contextualizing, letting them know kind of what to expect as they're going to dive into the rest of it is always really, really solid, no matter the platform, for sure.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend trimming here into the lots of photos that like Marni said earlier, that don't really serve what you're trying to do as an artist. And I think that when I come to your page for the first time, I want a really good idea of who you are, some storylines, some narrative. So I would definitely take some time. And I know we get attached to our Instagram photos. You don't have to delete them. You can archive them and they'll just go away just to us, but you can keep them in your app. But yeah, I would definitely go through and do some trimming here. Let's move on to Entity's recent artwork or press photo. I think we have both pulled up.
Can I say something really fast about just that process too? So with where we are now with those 3 photos across, those are photos that you can put into one carousel post too. So you can have all those photos, but they're in one post, and that might just trim it down. You can't do that after the fact, unfortunately, but just going forward, if you have a lot of pictures of one thing that you want to post, that also keeps people on your page longer because they're swiping through the photos. So
I'll
then
keep
you
that
can
in mind, definitely.
do that. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. This is his most recent artwork.
I love the idea. I love that, just the whole concept is super cool. It took me a second when I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's okay. Yeah. I think it just needs to be clearer. The resolution seems to be a little bit low. So it's a little just fuzzy, but I love the idea of it.
Yes, I mean, same comments. I actually really, really like the idea. It's a really, really cool idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, the mixing board in the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing, like, you know, like with the parental advisory sticker, like that's very grainy and low res. And I know we're always like, make these things better, but how? Two really good tools that you might be familiar with and may not be. One is Canva, canva.com. Man, you could design your whole life away on that one site. And another resource is, oh, wait, it just left me. Sorry, because I got so excited about Canva. Fiverr. You could put together a $15 or $20 budget and get some really nice artwork, or maybe even somebody might do it for $5 like the site suggests, but these are quick, low cost ways to improve your look everywhere. Again, this is a digital presence review. So if you're serious about your artistry, this is for you, entity, and anybody else, and you want to make strides even in uncertain and difficult times, you can, but aesthetics go a long way. So having your stuff look good and sound good, that really counts. And canva.com and fiverr.com are two great low-cost ways to improve the overall look of everything that you're doing. Let's move on over to Entity's press photo. Can we make it a little bigger mirror with the little plus sign? Yeah, thanks. There we go.
So I like the fact that you're looking into the camera, because that's something that we've been talking about in the last few. It for some reason looks like a cardboard cutout to me. Like I know that it's you, but
Yes.
there's a separation between you and the back, and I think just the cropping. So maybe if there was like a bigger version.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And then Entity, as far as for monetizing your work on on Twitch, what are you doing right now in terms of, you know, like with that single artwork with rear view mirror, like how did you release that? When did you release that?
I released it in 2018.
Okay.
I released it through CD Baby as
Okay.
a digital distribution.
Okay, so that's a couple years old, but whatever you're getting ready to put out, I'm sure you've heard Jimmy's advice, you know, talk to your fans about it. You set up an account on Twitch, get out there, you know, maybe take some more press photos. You can do that with your phone. You can upload them to Canva, make them look really nice for free. And then maybe have 5 versions and get on Twitch and ask people, you know, help me with this, you know, listen to my next single. I think
That's
that
a good idea.
we want you guys to, use the content that you're making right now on these new platforms and start to monetize them and make money off of them. And then lastly, let's go over to his Spotify. Yes, I can put those resources in the chat while Marni and Jimmy weigh in on Entity's Spotify page.
So yeah, I think it looks like this is your only release on DSPs, right?
Well, for that specific one, because before I released a project, it was just Entity, but I had to rebrand so it can be more specifically tailored towards me, making people more easy to find me.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Is there, I wonder if there's a way, because we've done this in the past, where you can merge those 2 pages so that your Entity stuff can come under Entity Gaskin?
Yeah, I think there is. I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, there are. It's not easy because we do this a lot, but not a lot, but enough where we know how not easy it is. But it is possible, and that might just help kind of bring all your stuff under one umbrella. Exactly. And then again, just the same thing with and I don't know, maybe this is fleshed out on your other Entity profile, but just having that image, yeah, and fleshing out the socials and the photos and the bio and all that stuff, just so that if this is the first place, if you're on a playlist and this is the first place somebody sees you, they get it all. They're like, cool. And then they know how to go further. They know how to find you on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and everything.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Jimmy, did you have any feedback for Entity about his Spotify or ways to monetize on Twitch or anything else?
Yeah, no, I think the big things for my side are going to be, if you're looking at starting up a Twitch, start looking. I mean, all the tools that you're going to use are free. I mean, actually, Canva and the other things that they pointed out earlier, you can use to apply to Twitch, design some of the stuff that you need. But there is a program called OBS. It's completely free. It's a broadcasting tool. You can also use it to screen record. So if you want to record your camera on your Mac or whatever that is, you can use it for that as well. A little confusing, but free and really powerful. So definitely do check that out. But the consistency on Twitch, if you do look to do that outside of just when you have album art or when you're releasing something, there's going to be a lot of other artists. Some of them are vocalists, some of them are pianists. Everyone from hobbyists up to Kenny Beats and Timbaland are out there. So getting involved in that ecosystem, you may start meeting some of these other indie artists who you may want to collaborate with, or at least share some audience with. Even if when you start out it's 20 viewers live, those 20 people are likely all over the globe. So really, that's even better than having 20 people in a venue or 100 people in a venue. Like, they've got friends, they're scattered out. So look to do that sort of thing. Consistency, and it's advice for everyone, is internet is stupid powerful for live content, and making sure that you give people a chance to get to know you is really, really important. And also can make you money doing things you probably already do. If you game, if you make art, if you make music, you're already doing it. You might as well be live streaming it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's a great point. All right. Thank you, Entity. We're going to have you hop off now. Thanks. I hope you got a lot from this conversation.
I sure did. Thank you so much.
All right. Jimmy and Marni, thank you so much. And Marcus, in his absence, thank you all so much for your time today. I've tried to, select artists who were kind of from a different range. So we had Lolly, who's doing some really great things with color and countdowns, and seems to, have herself like well presented on a lot of different places. And then Illy, who we could see, they're definitely moving in that direction, just needing to get a little more thorough, like Marcus said. And then Entity, who maybe a little bit more at the beginning stages, needing to get, a better photo, better artwork immediately. So try to pick some people who are kind of like 3 different ranges of the spectrum, hoping that, everybody who is in attendance would get something from all of those different places. Just trying to cover all the bases. So thank you all. Cheryl, if you're there, come on back to us.
Here.
So yeah, I want to thank all of our Motown Accelerator sponsors for keeping this program going. We are running the program. I know everybody was wondering. We have a lot of applicants here in the audience today. We are running the program. We will be announcing the 4 artists who were selected early next month. And we'll continue to do these type of community-facing workshops throughout the year. So thank you so much for joining us. I think I've mentioned everything that I wanted to say. Oh, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Jimmy.
Thank you.
And really do tap in with us, because we love doing stuff like this for you. And then Cheryl, you take it away.
Thank you, Sway. Thanks, Marni and Jimmy and Marcus, who had to jump off earlier. Fantastic panel. Really appreciate it. Just thanks to Sway and your team, and just to let everyone know that there is a goodie bag, a digital goodie bag that we'll be giving out. Part of the goodie bag is in this chat right now. And thanks, Sway. It's such a pleasure. We here at A2IM are just thrilled to have partnered with you on today's program.
And one more thing, we're going to send a formal email. So in case you missed it in the chat, you'll get a formal follow-up email, everybody that showed up today. And I didn't say this enough. Thank you, Cheryl and A2IM, for giving us all these amazing speakers today.
Pleasure.
Thank you so, so much. I'm
It's
happy to be in
pleasure.
contact with you all. All right, everyone. You have my email, you got
Thank you.
Cheryl's email, you got Marni and Jimmy's Instagrams and everything. Thank you to Brian Lynch, my program manager. Thank you to Mira, my program intern. They were behind the scenes doing a lot of stuff for me today. So thank you all so much. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.